Welcome to Dower10.com. Today we're going to take a look at a keyboard case. This is the keyboard case by IVSO, and it is actually targeted for the iPad Air, Air 2, not any of the 9.7-inch tablets from 2017 to 2018, as well as the iPad Pro 9.7. That's the one I'm interested in, and this is what this is going to be for. So I wanted to really see what this thing is capable of. So you can take a look at the picture here. That's a keyboard with a shell, and it has an included spot for holding the Apple Pencil. So let's take a look at what we get in the box. Alright, so here we have the keyboard itself here. Alright, and then inside here is most likely a micro USB charging cable. And that is correct. Yep, micro USB charging cable. Put that there and put this to the side. Take a look at the case itself. Alright, this is a little metal, this flap here magnetically closes onto the case. Opening it up, we see we have the keyboard here. Alright, and look at the keyboard here. Let's look at it real quick. We have standard QWERTY layout, inverted T for the cursor keys. Alright, full row of function keys. We have an on-off switch up here, as well as the caps lock, probably sync and charge indicators. Inside here we have the manual for the keyboard, so giving you highlights of everything that's there and functions as well. Then we have our lovely silica packet and padding. If I get that out. And so, just like the bigger one I reviewed earlier for the 12.9-inch iPad Pro 2018 edition, this is kind of similar. We have it's kind of a soft shell, so you see it's kind of flexible. It's not a super rigid shell, and it's got this little honeycomb pattern here for the tablet to sit on, so it's not directly sitting on top of the material. So it kind of gives it a bit of a breathing area, a little gap to keep the device from overheating. So let's take a look, and we have the spot here for the Apple Pencil. And take a look at the openings here. We have openings here for the speakers, okay, the microphone, large opening for the camera, as well as on this side openings for the volume rocker, the additional microphone, and the power button up here. And then on the bottom side here, looks like we have plenty of space available for the bottom microphones, as well as the connector for lightning connector. Okay, so I'm going to get my tablet, we'll put it in, and we'll pair it up and see how it's like. Okay, so here I have my iPad Pro 9.7-inch, and we'll put this in the case. So we'll open this little latch here, open it up, and because the case is flexible, it's actually pretty easy to get in. So from here I can just kind of put it in, flip it around, and there it is, it's in. And put this thing this way, and we see that we can test the on-off feature of the cover. So when it goes down, it's off. You see it kind of goes on and off as it opens, which is great. And then we take a look at the case openings here. We can see from here we have openings for the two speakers, lightning connector. Side here we can see there's easy access to the volume rocker, and the microphone here is not obstructed. And on this side we see that there's openings here for I think some other versions might have microphones here, top bottom, and there's openings for them, but my Pro does not have that. And easy access to the power button and the two speakers and the headphone jack. Alright, and on the back side you can see there's that other hole for the other microphone, which mine does not have, and then there's the triangular opening here that reveals the camera, flash, and the microphone on the back. So ample space for openings. So we'll open this up here and let's put it into its stand mode here. We can basically take this, and this flap here goes back, it pulls down, and we kind of flip this part out and kind of tense out, and this magnetically clasps on. And this one does the same on this side. And then with that, we are in a nice little, sort of like a laptop style mode. It's pretty stable. The keyboard here is attached. You can see it does not detach, so it's kind of held on here with this little flap. And you can see clearly the pencil holder. And actually, I'll get my pencil right here, my pencil, and we'll put this in here. It can go either way. And we'll put it in, nice and neat. And to get access to it, if you look on this side here, there are 2 openings here, so you can slip your finger through either way and be able to pull the pencil out. Alright, so let's go pair this up and start using the keyboard. Okay, so pairing the device up isn't very difficult. So let's take a look closely at the keyboard first. And you'll see over here we have the on-off switch. Alright, and then you notice the LEDs there. What will happen is this second one here is the pairing indicator, and you see on the keys here, this under the C key here is kind of this little interesting symbol. It's not quite the normal Bluetooth symbol, but if you hit the FNC, it will actually enter pair mode. So let's go turn it on first, and hit that on, and then you know the light's gonna blink on here trying to pair. So we'll get the FNC key here, and you'll see that now the light is blinking. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the tablet itself, and we'll go to the settings, and then we'll hit Bluetooth, and you'll see right away that it finds a keyboard. We'll click on that, and it should pair automatically, and there it's done, just like that. And it'll identify as a Bluetooth 3.0 keyboard. Now, the nice thing about Bluetooth 3.0 or the newer versions of Bluetooth is you don't have to worry about having to type anything in. In the older versions of Bluetooth, you'd have to type some keys in to kind of authenticate the pairing. So it goes right in and it's ready to go. So let's go take a look at using something like Microsoft Word. So I'll run that from here, and so I'm in Word now. I'm going to start typing. Now, I am making a bit more mistakes on this thing, probably most likely just because I'm typically used to larger keyboards, especially since my main driver tablet I use is my 12.9-inch iPad Pro. And so going downsizing to something that's smaller, it's a little bit more cramped. So for me, it's not quite as comfortable. But if your tablet is this size, you'll be perfectly fine with it. The keys themselves, they feel pretty good. They have a good amount of spring back, which is nice, and so it is a comfortable keyboard. I can see typing for long periods of time on it. But once again, you know, if your hands are really big, you might have some issues with it. But for the most part, it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I struggle a bit more with the number keys here because they're a bit small, so I kind of have to it feels like I'm kind of clawing at them. But you know, in general, it's a good typing experience. And what's nice is the inverted T here for the cursor keys is really nice. And what I like about it is the left and right are not large keys, because sometimes a lot of keyboards have that, and it's harder to differentiate when you go over to the keys here. You know, at least with the smaller size, you're not worrying about accidentally going over here and tapping the left or right arrow keys there. So that's kind of nice. Now the FN keys are all here on top. So we have like the hold the FN key down, and the tap up in the tilde up here is the home button. We have your brightness settings here, the search, and you can bring up the keyboard if you want. If you're over here, bring the keyboard up, and then you have the international or alternate entry things. Get that away. I don't really need this. Stop. Go away. All right, and then we have like the media keys for play, pause, and then the volume keys as well. So you can all control that from here. So it's pretty much a nicely laid out keyboard, as well as using FN keys for the home up and page up and down functions as well. The one thing I'll have to say is that the keyboard is not backlit, which is kind of too bad. I'm a stickler for backlit keyboards because I usually like to work in slightly less lit places, and if you're on an airplane, it can be kind of an issue, or in a dark room. But that's sort of a missed opportunity, is not having the backlighting for the keyboard. So let's talk about another way we can use this case. Now, we've been using it typically for typing, all right, but if you want to draw with it, you can always simply just tilt the case back this way, and the screen rotates around, and you go now. I get access to the pencil and use it for drawing. So, using the little holes here for the your finger to come through, pop the pencil out, and this even has areas where you can hold the pencil and basically dock it, and so you can kind of slip these little holes here, and now you have a place to store the pencil if you're drawing and don't want to put it back in the space or just leaving it lying around. Now, unfortunately, the keyboard does not detach, like I said, so that the keyboard will hang off the back this way, and so it's it's too bad that it's not detachable, but it could be a minor inconvenience for some folks. And then from here, you can launch programs like Sketchbook Pro, for example. And then from here, let's say we start something new. And discard whatever I was working on before. And now, we can basically go and start drawing in here. And you can see with the angle here, it's a bit more, maybe a bit more comfortable for some folks to be able to draw at this angle as opposed to, as opposed to being this way, or being flat on the desk. Gives you a bit of an elevation to work on. All right, so that's a nice way you can use it. And once again, dock the pencil there while you're working. All right, before taking the iPad out of the case, let's take a look at one more scenario, usage scenario for this case. So typically, if you want to carry it around, you might have to be forced to closing it up this way and carrying it around. But if you want to still use a tablet while carrying it around, you can always take the keyboard, flip it around, and then from this side, put this little latch, and it magnetically clasps on this side, and then therefore you have the ability to kind of still use the tablet in tablet mode while being carried around, and not have to worry about keeping it closed. Now you might want to make sure you turn the keyboard off, or else you can get weird key presses here. But once it's in this mode, you're basically able to just walk around with your tablet and use it accordingly. So it's almost like have a 2-in-1 laptop. When you flip it over, the keys are usually exposed on the bottom side. All right, so that's pretty neat. Now, one thing to talk about the way the case sits in here, you can see that there's a bit of a lip around, so it's a little extra protection so that if it does fall flat, there's a little bit of a lip that kind of keeps the tablet in the case. And so because it's flexible, getting it out is pretty easy. So I can just simply go here and just press on the corners, and the tablet comes right out, just like that. All right. So there you have it. A look at IVSO's keyboard case for the iPad Pro 9.7 inch, but it also works for some of the older ones as well. It supports the iPad Air, Air 2, and the 2017 and 2018 9.7 inch iPads. All right, so now at this size, you have a lot more options available to you, but this is not a bad option. I mean, it's a comfortable keyboard case. It's got a good nice grippy surface on here, and the keyboard's not bad. All right, and price point, it's about $45. So it's a pretty good price point for a keyboard case if you need something like that. So if you have any questions about this case or things you want to see that I did not show, feel free to leave a comment below. And so like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.